So let's talk about some inequalities. When you have this first symbol, right, this stands for less than. Okay? And the way we represent it on a number line is with an open circle. So for example, when you have something like this, this is x is less than 3. So we go over to 3 on the number line. We put an open circle, and then you want to put an arrow over all of the numbers that are less than 3. So if I'm looking at a number line, the numbers less than 3 are over here. Okay? All right. Next, I have this symbol, which means greater than. And again, it takes an open circle. So for example, here I have x is greater than -2. I go to -2, I put an open circle on -2, and then I want to put an arrow over all the numbers that are greater than -2, so it goes on the right-hand side. Okay. This next one here is less than, whoops. Or equal to. All right, so what? Okay, so less than or equal to, because it's got that, a bar underneath. That gets a closed circle. So for example, if you have x is less than or equal to 6, I go to 6 on the number line, I put a closed circle, and I want to do an arrow over all the numbers that are less than 6 to the left. And then finally, this one is greater than or equal to, right? So if I have greater than or equal to 0, I go to 0, close circle, and I go to the numbers to the right. Any questions on this? Okay, so take a look at this one. We want to solve each inequality, and we want to express the answers on a number line. So let's first solve them. When you're solving these inequalities, you're going to treat that inequality symbol like an equal sign. So it's just like an equal sign. All right? So here, if this was an equal sign, I would add 4 to both sides, right? And so I get x is less than or equal to 7. So I go to 7, closed circle, and I want to put an arrow this way. Okay? All right, now here, what am I going to do to solve for m?
You add 14.
Add 14 to both sides. So I have 7 greater than m. Okay? But now when I read this, I have to start reading from the variable. So if I look at the variable, it's m is less than 7. Okay? M is less than 7. So I go to 7, and then again I want to go less than. All right, questions? Yeah. It is an open circle. Okay. Next one. I'm going to add 4 to both sides. So I get -13n less than -12n plus 4. Now what? Add 12 to both sides, 12n. -n less than 4. Okay, now what do I have to do? Divide by the negative. Whoops.
But don't you have to flip?
Yes, divide by the -1. But the rule is whenever you divide by a negative, you've got to flip the sign. So this will be n, and here I get -4. But then I have to flip the sign so it'll look like that. So now I go to -4, and I want to do the numbers greater than. So if you're using a pencil, and if you want to make a line on a number line, sometimes it's not that easy to see. You can make it like a hairline above like that. Okay? Just so it's not like it's clear. Okay, what am I going to do for the next one? Add a half. Okay, so b is greater than, how much is negative 2 plus a half? So this is negative 2 is, so negative 2 plus a half. Negative 2 is negative 4 over 2, right? Plus 1 over 2, negative 3 over 2. Okay, so how much is that? Negative 1.5. I go here, open circle, and I go to the right. Okay, so questions so far?
Wait, how did you do 3 over 2?
How did I get 3 over 2?
Oh, how do you graph?
Oh, so 3 over 2, this is negative 1 and 1/2. Right? If you do a mixed number, it's 1.5. So then here is negative 1.5.
You did it in between.
Yeah, in between 1 and 2. Okay, let's so if you do E, go ahead and do E. Tell me what you get. What do you think? X is less than or equal to what? Negative 2?
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, negative 1, negative 2 here. So I go this way. Okay, here, let's subtract X. Negative 6 greater than X. And we're good, right? So I'm going to go to negative 6, put an open circle there. And which way does the arrow go? Left or right?
Right.
Left.
Left.
Left. Well, okay, so yeah, X, you read starting with the X. X is less than negative 6, so this way. Okay. Okay, here, negative 1/2, negative 1/2. So A is less than or equal to minus 3 minus 1/2. How much is that? Do you add the numbers or subtract? Like it'll be negative 3.5 or negative 7 over 2. So A is less than or equal to negative 3.5. Okay, so where is negative 3.5? 1, 2, 3.5. Less than or equal to. Okay. Okay, what about here? Minus 6x minus 6x. 3 greater than or equal to x. So I'm going to go to 3. Put a closed circle. Which way does the arrow go? Left or right? Left. Good. Okay, so as a reminder, when you multiply or divide by a negative number, you have to reverse the sign, right? So here, but you have to make sure the number that you're like multiplying on both sides has to be negative. So look here, I have to get the x alone. So I have to multiply by 2, multiply by 2. Now the thing I'm multiplying on both sides is positive, so everything stays the way it is, right? So I just get x is less than negative 6. I go to negative 6 and I go to the left. Here,
So what changed?
nothing, right? Because even though there is a negative in the problem, the thing you're multiplying on both sides is positive, so nothing changes yet. So here we have negative 2 less than n. So I go to -2. And which way do I go, left or right? Right. Okay, now here. What do I multiply both sides by?
Wait, which way did you go? Right.
-4/1. So -4. Now, here I have x, and now look, now the number that I'm multiplying to both sides, now it's negative. So I've got to flip the sign to -8. Okay? Questions? Okay, so we go to -8, closed circle, and to the right. Okay, so I'm going to give you a couple of minutes, and I want you to do D to H. So finish this page. All right, I'm going to give you about, I don't know, 5 minutes. On your mark. Get set. Go. 5 minutes. Okay. All right. So remember, whenever you're dividing by a negative number, to flip the sign. Okay. So in this page, like through H, I only had to flip the sign once. Okay? Did I not bring it up here today? Huh? All right. Other questions? Okay. So yeah, so F was supposed to be positive. Sorry about that. Okay. So let's move on then. Here. Again, so you see these are kind of over here, these are kind of like reverse order of operations. So, we have to kind of be able to do that stuff. Okay, so here, first I'm going to add 2. So 5a is greater than -10. Now, divide by 5, divide by 5. A is greater than how much? -2. Do I switch the sign? I do not. Okay, here, subtract 3. So -half d less than or equal to 4. Now what? Multiply by what? -2. So I have a d here. Do I flip the sign? I do flip the sign, and I get greater than or equal to -8. Close circle. Okay? Here, what am I going to do first? Yep.
Sorry.
Yep.
Oh, you did.
Yep. Here, okay, so let's subtract 7s from both sides. I could have also subtracted 10s, but then here I get a negative, and I always try to avoid negatives whenever I can, okay? So 3s plus 15 greater than 24. And some of you might be able to combine two steps in one, and that's fine. But you know what? I'm just going to go and take it slow. Minus 15, minus 15. So 3s is greater than how much? 9. Divide by 3, divide by 3. S is greater than how much? Yes. Okay. Ooh, what do I do first for the next problem? What do you guys think? Starts with a D, ends with an distribute. Distribute! Yeah? 2a minus 12 plus 7. So 15 is less than 2a minus 5. Add 5. Add 5.
Wait, what happened to 7?
So here, negative 12 plus 7, yeah. So now I get 20 is less than 2a. So 10 is less than a. So I go to 10. And which way am I going to go? To the right. Off grid. Yep.
Is it okay if I swap it to some easy?
Absolutely. Absolutely. If you can, like, if you want to, you know, rewrite this like this so it's easier for you to see, definitely. Okay? Sometimes when I do that, it confuses students even more, so I kind of avoid it. But if it works for you, man, go for it. Sure.